What if the moment you thought everything was over was actually the moment something greater began? They didn't wake up that morning expecting hope. They woke up carrying grief, regret, silence. The cross had done what crosses always do. It ended things, or so they thought, because before the sun finished rising, a sealed tomb stood open, and the story the world thought was buried was about to breathe again. It began in silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy silence that settles in after loss. The kind that fills a room when hope feels like it's been taken away. Jesus was gone, the teacher, the healer, the one who spoke like no one else ever had. His followers weren't brave heroes that morning. They were tired, grieving, confused. Everything they believed in seemed to end at a cross. Before sunrise, a few women walked toward the tomb. They weren't expecting a miracle. They were coming to mourn. The stone was supposed to be there. It wasn't. At first, they thought something terrible had happened, that even death hadn't been allowed to rest. But then came the words that would split history in two. He is not here, not stolen, not misplaced, not forgotten, alive. The resurrection didn't arrive with fireworks or speeches. It arrived quietly, like light slipping into a dark room, like breath returning to lungs that had stopped believing they could breathe again. Jesus appeared not in palaces, but in ordinary places. On dusty roads, in locked rooms filled with fear, at a table where friends were still trying to make sense of heartbreak. He spoke their names. He showed his scars. He stood there real, living, present. The resurrection wasn't just proof of power. It was a promise that death doesn't get the final word, that failure isn't permanent, that even when something looks finished, God isn't done. For the disciples, everything changed. Fear loosened its grip. Hope stood back up. What was buried didn't stay buried. And that's the power of the resurrection. It's not just about what happened to Jesus. It's about what happens to us. It tells us that despair can be reversed, that broken things can live again, that love is stronger than the grave, because the resurrection says this: if God can bring life out of death, He can bring hope out of your darkest place too. And that story, the one that walked out of the tomb, is still being told today. Follow 4 more Bible stories.